first 10, 15 minutes or whatever, I think it was like 8 minutes left. 8 minutes into the game or 12 minutes into the game, they're up 10 or whatever. And it's like, does it feel like here we go again, sort of thing? Like things are sort of disjointed.
It does, but I never give up. I'm always thinking, but the boys have to be able to respond. You know, it went back to iso ball. It reminded me of the first half of the Villanova game. We put the game plan in. It's just these guys have always scored the basketball going one-on-one, that they break away from the offense sometimes and just try to go because they feel like they can get by their man, and then it starts to look junky. We take bad shots, then we get back on the defensive end and don't play defense the way that we should, and it just snowballs. So yeah, it brought back bad memories, but I knew that I could pull them out of it, and eventually we did.
What's it going to take for all those skill sets, like you said, the iso ball and the ability to score, get buckets, to kind of come together and make your offense look more like a team?
We're really struggling with that right now, and it's just going to take for them to just say, I'm sacrificing my points, you sacrifice your points, you sacrifice your points, and then guess what? It's going to all come together then. But right now, they're all trying to go out there, rightfully so, feeling like I can go by my man and get to the basket, but teams' game plans is just shrinking the court on us.
Is that a result of is it selfishness or what's the cause of that?
It's not selfishness. It's just being a dog. It's being where they were before they came here. They were all the man on their teams. Their teams, where they came from, needed them to score. So it's odd for them to be playmakers when they're all pretty much alphas out there on the floor.
How hard is it on a night like this where Hugh takes over, David goes off again, Malcolm has another really nice game, Caleb has a season high, 18 points. Is it hard to kind of single out one guy? I mean, Jaquan comes off in overtime. The only bucket of the game starts overtime with a three-pointer. Hadn't played since the 10.5-minute mark in the second half.
Yeah, this is how talented we are. We just got to find it.
Yeah.
And that's on the guard. That's on the player. That's player-led. I can do whatever I need to do, but they got to go out there and do it. And then, you don't want to have too much of a leash on them because they're thoroughbreds. They can go out there and run, jump, whatever. And then, like you said, look at all those guys that had great games today for us to pull this out. At some point, they have to figure out how to mesh that talent together, be a little bit more unselfish, sacrifice more, and then see it all unfold.
What was the reason for the starting lineup change today?
I just felt like I wanted that. I felt like I wanted Ashton out there because he was shooting the ball really well, to have some respect, to try to open the floor up more for David and JQ. And then to bring Jaquan and Caleb off the bench, I wanted them to come in fresh, and then put Jaquan at the point as a backup point coming in with this size, because I've been putting him at the point for a while now.
You mentioned,
Go ahead.
You mentioned last time, I think it was the first 2 games of the season, you wanted to shock, I think is the word you used, shock the guys who were coming off the bench, Jordan Brown and Caleb Mills. Is there some of that being your motive today or not really?
I don't think it was that motive for me. Caleb asked to come off the bench because he was like, I just need to come off the bench. Had his game high today, so he said it twice, so I was like, okay, we'll do it. Jaquan, I just felt like it needed to be a shift for him because he wasn't shooting well from 2, wasn't shooting well from 3, even though he was playing good ball, just to get him going again. And didn't get him going today, but I'll figure it out.
When did Caleb tell you that?
Right before the Ole Miss game.
That he wanted to come off the bench?
Yeah.
And then you didn't believe him, I guess.
Nope. And then he said it again coming here, and I was like, okay, I got you. Some guys might need to see the game, might need to just kind of relax going into the game instead of starting it off. It's okay. Still play. They all play starter minutes except for Jaquan.
And his defense
was excellent.
Was pretty good.
Yeah, excellent.
How's David's? He took an elbow thing and an ankle thing. Is he?
Yeah, he re-injured his ankle. He injured his ankle in practice about 3 weeks ago, and when he spun, it just tweaked enough to get that pain back there. That it started with 3 weeks ago. But a Warrior still came back into the game and finished.
How big was Jordan Brown's absence today?
It was big because we lost the body, we lost the inside presence, and it was definitely big.
What's going on with him?
Sick. He came in, got checked out by the doctors, went back home, and we knew we were going to miss him for sure.
When do you expect for him to be healthy and be back with y'all?
I'm not sure. I'm hoping when we get back. I'm hoping as soon as we touch down, he's like, I'm ready to get back, that he was excited about seeing the game and that we pulled it out without him. And we know that's another guy I know I have to get going. Got to throw that ball to him on the post and let him go to work.
Is Caleb going to come off the bench again?
I'll let him tell you.
Okay.
Because, again, y'all are so caught up in the starting. It's not really about starting. If he wants to come off the bench, let him come off the bench. The best players sometimes come off the bench. Devin Booker came off the bench the whole year in Kentucky. It's okay. As long as you play starter minutes and you're in there when winning time happens, that's all that matters.
You mentioned before that y'all have let y'all's offense dictate the defense. You know, guys go ISO, guys check up threes, and then the other end they don't, like you said, they don't play great defense. What did it take today, late in the first half, y'all kind of flipped the switch and everything started looking better and kind of more engaged?
You know what flipped the script? Having Carl, Ashton, Caleb, I think it was Nick and one more guy went on the run. There was no David, I don't think, at that time. I think he was on the bench. There was no Jaquan. They were all on the bench. And that group made the run and got us back into the game because the ball was moving, played better defense, and rebounded better.
Two more.
How about the job Jaden did today, especially on defense? It felt like he really locked some guys
Yeah,
down.
Jay is just solid, man. He's just a guy that's going to go out there and do whatever it takes. Doesn't beg for shots, doesn't need shots. Hit a big three. And in the first half when they tried to double team JQ, but he's always going to be solid on defense.
Penny, you know, obviously people called this team a dark horse Final Four contender. You know, people have talked about this team potentially being in that mix, right? What's your level of concern at this point in the season with some of these games?
The level of concern is just the guys getting to know each other enough to sacrifice what they need to go, because that's going to be our only Achilles heel. Everybody trying to go one-on-one instead of saying, let's sacrifice our points, move the ball. If we can eventually get to that, then that will come true.